Well, hello everybody and welcome back to West Beach. We're watching the Magpies versus the Hills Heat. I'm Mark Cramp and with me James Harris and the best in the business, Lee. How are you, Lee Hull?
I'm fine, thank you, Mark, and nice to see you, James. Long time no see.
Yeah, we just came off the back of one of the greatest finishes you'll see in a softball game. Walkerville Cats scoring 7 runs in the last inning with a play at the plate, only to deny them the win in a draw, which keeps them alive in the live ladder with just, well, they've got one more game to go. These two teams that we're about to see, Port Adelaide versus Hills Heat, have got 2 games to go.
Yeah, and anything's possible here. As we just saw, Lee, you guys wrote them off early and I said stick by them. And it was a draw in the end, 8-all, 7 runs in the last innings. What's going to play out here, Lee? Give me a prediction because I want to get in early on this one. I think I've already pipped it. So tell me what you think's going to happen in this, which is an exciting game because a lot is riding on the result of this game.
It is, and I think too much to lose for Port Adelaide. I think they'll win, actually.
Well,
it depends when Georgia Hood comes in the pitch, if she's going to.
Well, you've just given it away because Georgia Hood returns from her Aussie squad duties, Jim, and she's standing on first base, which tonight will see us for the first time this season.
Yeah, Tali LaRosa on the plate for the Hills Heat.
So is this a ploy? What does this do? What are Hills thinking? Because Hills have the opportunity. We mentioned it before, and we're talking about gamesmanship and throwing games and bits and pieces like this. But
well, the ladder prior to the start of the games tonight have the Hills Heat. They will finish third regardless of the result. What they have in control is who finishes fourth because they play Hills Heat tonight. They play Walkerville. Hills Heat play Port Adelaide tonight. They play Walkerville Cats on Saturday. The 2 teams that are fighting for 4th place. Now, 2 points separate them. One after tonight's game where Walkerville had the draw against West Torrens. So 19-20. It's runs against. They're not in the favour of the Cats. So Hills Heat can manipulate the final placings in the ladder if they choose to today. I mean, they could just go out and try and win both games. Now, I don't think it's in any top-grade athlete or coach's mind to drop a game on purpose. However, they can do it if they choose to in this game.
Yep, it's all about longevity and how far you think you can get into the finals, and you play your best team or what you can do to get there. And we all know that.
Here's another scenario. Hills Heat think, all right, well, we're going to come up against Port Adelaide in the first semi-final.
Yep.
I don't want to show my ace against them this close. So they're going to finish third no matter what.
And if they do that, if they have to play Port, they may come up against Johanna Grau, depending on her fitness.
Or is that lady on the screen, is she injured after spending 2 weeks away and they're trying to rest her? I don't know. We won't know. But what we're about to do is start this game with Georgia Hood as the leadoff for the Hills.
We're about to find out.
100%.
Georgia Hood just batting a lazy .525 batting average.
I've lost me folder. I went over to the dugout and left me folder there, not happy. As Hood fouls that one off.
Yeah, .525 batting average, a .635 on-base percentage. You'd probably suggest any other season that should be leading the league, but Maddie Cameron, and my mail is that she's already hit a home run tonight in the other game, thanks to MK Services SA, in 11-0 in 2 innings game against bottom side second.
Yeah, I was just over there myself and caught up with Seacombe's former coach, Scott Rattingham, and he just gave me a bit of a rundown and said Maddie Cameron's hit was a genuinely dog house, German Shepherd Club roof tingler.
Hood gets under this one, and Tash Straps has to take her eye off the ball. It's going to go foul.
It's going to go foul. That's unfair.
So what's happened is that she saw the ball. It was going to be her catch. However, the wind, maybe there's no wind tonight, but the hit, maybe the backspin of the ball has taken it back towards the catcher. Her eyes went down, maybe to check the runner, maybe to check and see if the catcher was coming down to take it. And then the backspin of the ball has continued into foul territory.
Now, I had a good chat with Karen Dale after the game about her catch in the outfield. Her and I have a bit of a chin wag. As Hood goes after that one and fires that one deep as it comes off the glove of Emma Dolphin. And Hood will stand up comfortably at second, and that gets the Hills underway with a runner at second base. I was talking to Karen Dale about her, and she was right and we were right. It's when you mix it up with the rain and the light, and the rain's moving around, which makes it look like the ball is moving. As we watch the replay there, and Hood just gave that everything and realised she could stand comfortably at second. So the rain has stopped out here now. It's drizzling. If you look at the lights out there, Jim, it's just falling, just drizzling just a little bit, but it's significantly better than what it was. And there's a great pickup there by Chillingworth.
It's not freezing cold, is it? Normally, the games here on the backfield, there's heavy winds, sea breezes, but tonight there doesn't seem to be too much rain. A wind, but there is a little bit of rain. Holding the bat high in above the top of the strike zone there to show bunt. Runner in scoring position for Amber Hood, who's hitting 349 on the season, 517 on base average, 15 walks on the season. 2 of them intentional.
Good eye tells you, doesn't it?
Oh, she chopped at that one late too, didn't she?
Very late. That late that it went foul.
We've seen plenty of that in the back half of this season. Not too many sacrifice bunts, more running bunt attempts.
Yeah, it's, well, hasn't come back to the bottom. It may do, as the rain sort of trickles down a little bit harder there, Jim. Talking about Jim's, Jim Manning predicted it was going to disappear altogether.
Ground ball. Callahan checks the runner and holds her at second and makes the first out. She hobbling. Maybe just a little disappointed in herself, leading team's replay.
And she gave it a little bit too, but look, dug in too, James, and she gave it a good hit, but it just scummed down on the. It's a little bit wet out there, it's a little bit drizzly, so it fired into. Oh, you're right. Look at that, a little bit of a hop. Oh, is that a hamstring?
Jenny
Good
Perez, another running bunt attempt. Well, that's a
steal.
fake
Cover.
Yeah. Great stolen base from Georgia Hood. She's quick on her feet, isn't she?
Yep.
That's her 4th stolen base of the season. Jenny Perez has a pretty handy batting average, 261 batting average. Just one of 6 batters in their lineup better than 10 hits in the season, which is very important come finals time. You need strong bats throughout the lineup.
You need an even contribution, don't you, from everyone. Just play your part. Some parts are played bigger parts and others are small parts, but they all add up to a win.
I'd like to know what that call was. Was that a bunt? Or was it a running bunt?
It looks like a running bunt, yeah.
I
think I'd put that one away now for a little while.
We might have to get Jim Manning back on the line.
The blower.
Because that rain has just come back a little harder than perhaps what we saw in the earlier game tonight.
He said it was going to go away, but he didn't say it was coming back.
2-1 count for Perez. Goes opposite field. This is going to score a run. Gets past the right
Great
fielder.
shot.
Williams has got to run this down. Actually, it's the centre fielder that takes it. And Perez is going to make it all the way around to third base with a big smile on her face.
Yeah, good on her. Great hit out there. And that sort of just skewed out too, didn't it? Hit the ground and stayed low and just ran to the fence. She's happy with herself there. Number 10.
I'll go around the field if you like, lads. It's Michaela Yankovic pitching to Taylor Chillingworth. At first base, Tash Straps. Second base, Jess Nervous. Charlize Callahan at third. Gemma Letton at short. And the outfield left to right, Amelia Dolphin, Ella Forrester, and Megan Williams.
You done very well to read my scribble there, Lee. I apologise for the chicken scribble that I wrote in a rush between games.
Well, you did very well, Mark. I'm not going to rubbish about that.
No,
it was
I appreciate
excellent.
that. I've lost my folder.
Change up as Peyton Daniels comes to the plate, batting 4. She is still a young player in the under 18 age group, hitting 277. 13 hits on the season, but most impressively, 11 RBIs.
And that's what you want from your number 4, isn't it? It's consistent contact and RBIs. Your job is to get RBIs when you're at 4.
Yes. She's second to Danny Perez in the team's RBI. She's got 13, make it 14 after her RBI triple that she just scored.
Well, as Peyton Daniels fouls that one off, the first time tonight we can actually hear the rain now. So it's coming down a little bit harder than it has been, and it's actually starting to sound wet.
Full credit to the players sticking it out there. They know how much is on the line tonight. As you mentioned earlier tonight in the first game, it was an 8-all draw, but we were talking about a very crucial game at a world tournament where a result mattered. The night before finals began, and both teams knew what was on the line, and both teams had to win to make it. And so I'm not surprised these two teams are sticking to it out there tonight. Plenty to play for.
As Peyton Daniels watches that one go through. It was a touch and go, but Leroy, as you always said, or you always say, sorry, you don't leave them that close when there's 2 on the line, is there?
No, it looked a bit low, but we're not in the correct position to call those. Umpire Tanner brings on plate tonight, and at first base, Steve Wallace-Yarrow, and at third base, it's Ian Gray.
Alex Mackey will dribble this to third base. Great play in the wet from Callahan for her second ground ball in the inning. And that's the Hills catcher. Alex Mackey just grounding out, so might have a delayed break here as the rain seems to be coming down a little heavier, but the Hills Heat are coming out of the dugout to play the bottom half of this inning. Lee, Port Adelaide in 4th place. They get an opportunity here to at least equalise with Hills.
Yes, we're going right down to the last game, I feel, of the season, Mark, the last games, round of games.
Well, if Hills drop tonight's game, it's over for Walkerville. If Hills win tonight, Walkerville live another day. I think it's as easy as that. As the rain is as heavy as it has been all night, and I'm not suggesting that we don't watch the two teams. What I'm saying is watch the diamond, because it's held up pretty well so far tonight. But you look around the home plate area, looks like it's mucking up a little bit. You look around the edges of the grass, looks like the moisture is at the top of the surface. Take us around the diamond, Lee.
I will, thank you, James. Pitching, Talia LaRosso to Alex Mackey. First base, Georgia Hood. Second base, her sister Amber Hood. Third base, Peyton Daniels. And the shortstop, Danny Perez, who got that nice triple in that innings. And at left field, the lean green mean machine, Mackenzie Ween. At centre field, it's Maddie Rocha. And right field, the girl from Central Districts, Bronwyn Pendleton.
Right, we'll just interrupt there just for a second, Lee. Thank you very much for that, Jim. You just overheard something which may be of interest.
Yeah, plate umpire Kevin Tannerbrings come over to the official scorers and just reminded them of the Premier League bylaws that to constitute a game, we've got to get through 3 innings or 45 minutes of play. Now, the camera is right on it. That is State Umpire-in-Chief Steve Wallace-Yarrow putting his foot in the muck or the mud that is right there at the quick connection valve, the QC valve, where the sprinkler or the hose can be plugged in to water the fields on a hot and dry day. It won't be needed tonight, but a lot of moisture around that area of the diamond. What are the players pointing at now? This could delay the start of the bottom of the first inning. If the game gets called before 3 innings are complete, all 45 minutes, they're coming back tomorrow night.
Well, there's a big muddy patch out there that they're going to have a look at.
Around the home plate, look at that water lying there now.
Oh, yeah, he's getting stuck in that.
I think it's going to be abandoned ship here, or in this case, game, until tomorrow.
It's a long way for the Hills girls to come. Well, I think we may have a decision here, folks, and I think the umpires are making their way. It's called.
Yeah, Hills girls are making way. They're going to come back out off the diamond. Abandoned game called from plate umpire Kevin Tannebring. So 45 minutes and 3 innings not completed. So we're going to have to come back tomorrow night.
Roger, thank you.
Well, we might have to get the Premier League committee to double check if it's a 9 o'clock start or an 8 o'clock start or even a 7 o'clock start tomorrow night. So I'm not sure if there's anything left to discuss other than abandoned game. Thank you so much to the crew for sticking around, but your night is done. Let's wrap things up and call the action. The first game of the night was played, completed 8-all draw, West Torrens versus Walkerville. Thanks, Mark and Lee. You might be able to get an early minute. We weren't expecting that. We were expecting a late one.
No, look, I was looking forward to this game because it had so much on the line.
Yep.
Tomorrow night's game, if that's what happens, will be just as important for Walkerville and Port as we look at the screen there as the rain is bucketing down now. The umpires have made the right decision. Let's keep this game safe. The scorers depart as they get an early minute and they're celebrating. So James, thank you.
Yeah, let's wrap things up here from West Beach. That's the story of the night for this game between the Hills Heat and the Port Magpies. Abandoned game, they'll have to come back and play again tomorrow night. So on behalf of the cast and crew, thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers. Thank you.